My name is Alex Vopat, and I am a financial consultant for bankruptcy and restructuring. So life before working with Victor was almost 5 to 6 years ago at this point. And so it's been quite some time. And life before that had a lot of questions on just general philosophy and perspective on life, and definitely needed somebody to help get me to the next level as I felt like I was stuck in where I was at. Reading a lot of self-help books, going to seminars, just looking for somebody who has broke through that barrier to help give me the perspective that's needed to elevate me to the next level. Since I've met Victor, and we've started our relationship, especially as a coach, my life has changed substantially, not just from a professional, but more or less emotional awareness and understanding myself personally. We've done so many exercises and have gone through so many different types of uh, unconventional uh, conversations that gives the perspective that I was looking for. And one of the biggest breakthroughs I did have was to the point of finding myself and getting the courage to make the changes that allow me to be in the position that I'm in now. So I do, although I'm a financial consultant, I actually own my business that does the consulting, and I can say, not braggadociously or arrogantly, but we generated around $100,000 in revenue just in the last month, and I do contribute that to the relationship that Victor and I have had, because again, that's given me the courage and the confidence, the strategies, the habits that actually play into my day to day life. That those decisions allowed me to be able to make that jump. And this first time I made that much money in my life. The best thing that I love working with Victor the most is he brings a perspective. Like, so if you think you may have something figured out, or even if you don't, and you have a challenge that you're thinking through, and you may come up with conclusion A, when he gives you his perspective and take on it, it's eye opening, right? And it's almost like a sense of relief watching those blind spots. And one thing I love about him most is that he has this ability to give insight that is almost like an aha moment just about every coaching session. It never disappoints, which is why we've been together for almost 6 years now, 5 or 6 years. Although we put the work in and you give the insights and you're able to help people find new levels within themselves, right? And find those values and consistency, whether that's through discipline, perseverance, or whatnot. You still have to do the work, right? So it's you enable the person. And the best part about it is it's not that you say, hey, oh, you have to do this and you will then achieve. You do the X, you'll achieve Y, like a Tony Robbins type deal, right? Like, let's power through. It's like, no, let's take a step back and understand yourself. Let's pull those. Let's dive a little bit deeper and understand why you may want that, and you may find out that you don't want that, right? And that you're actually looking for something else, which was a couple of times in our cases, right? Just sitting there and trying to understand the emotions that's driving the thought. And then once you connect holistically and become unified and congruent, then you realize that you may have been channeling your energy into the wrong area of life. And without that awareness, it's hard to make that decision. But through working with you as a coach, it allows individuals to raise their level of awareness and then to make those conscious decisions that would then benefit them in the long run. For example, like becoming self-employed, although that was something that everybody else, typically those who are motivated, they all want to be self-employed. They don't realize or don't ask the question, well, why do I want to be self-employed, right? There's always something underlying that's there. And if those cards aren't in place before you take that leap of faith, it could be another train wreck waiting to happen. So you got to get your house in order. So the impact on others is pretty amazing, because especially when you go through the exercise of just like communication, right? You can still pick it up through the coaching sessions, is this ability to understand others and to communicate with others on their within their strategy, within their realm of the world. And by doing so, you get to see them for what they are trying to communicate, not what you think they're trying to communicate, right? So you become very empathetic and aware of not only yourself but others, which then puts you in a very calm during chaos type of position when everything else seems to be burning down around, you can stay collective within your own thoughts, experience, and then make those decisions from a place of strength versus reactivity. If anyone was on the fence about whether or not to move forward with the coaching, which I've been there too, right? Even being a recurring customer, it's still a challenge as my mind is, one of my goals is always to save and conserve and invest. And I can honestly say that I never regret moving forward with them, right? It's always a challenge of like, okay, well, how am I going to be able to afford it this month? But once I find a way or just commit to it and then just trust in the process of something, my mind will come up with a strategy or a means of making this work. But never once have I regretted or even remotely wish we didn't follow through with it. And so I would say to trust in that instinct. If this is something that you truly want to do and you're looking for somebody to help get you to that next level, be your coach, be your blind spot, give you new perspective, then take the leap of faith. And I know that you won't be disappointed.